I know this is dragging on and it's been taking a while, but I believe it's part of the coming down and doing a bigger retest, maybe even the 50 on the day. So at the moment, the move down is not invalidated on the daily. Now moving, because we are looking at what's in front of us on the day, moving on the 4 hour, we see some movement now on Bitcoin retesting the 20 EMA on the 4 hour. As you can see in the swing, the 20 EMA first, when it crossed it down, that was the breaking of the peak formation level. Then it back tested it, but it hasn't come down any lower, which to me is very suspicious. And if I am to look at the rules of a W formation reversal, I'm going to do the same for Ethereum. This would be the W formation. And at the moment, we are below this, the midline, the peak. So unless price action gets above this, which is not a coincidence that it's the same level as the peak formation resistance, I think we are still on our way for a leg down, and that leg down might be the golden pocket as it did this swing here, or it might be the 200 on the 4 hour around 21.6. I'm still in my short in Bitcoin and XRP. I think this is a normal retest as it looks right now. Unless it gets above this W, I don't know what to call it. There is a name in Romanian for this, but I don't know what name would be in English. Just this mid peak in the W. So unless it gets above this, so it crosses back into peak formation territory, I think we are on our way down. London started with a push up. We know that sessions have a tendency to correct against their initial direction at the start of the session. Sydney did that, Tokyo did that, New York did that yesterday as well. So let's see if London is gonna do, London or the start of New York today is gonna do another leg down. I'm not going to go into more, into finer minutiae, because this is, do you know what, I'm going to go on the 1 hour, because on the 1 hour we are again above, and I tell you about holding the 20 on the 1 hour. So on the 1 hour we are above the 20. If this 20 is going to hold, that's the big question, because it tried to do it here and then it failed. So the next, we have this 13 minutes from this 1 hour candle, and then the next 1 hour is gonna have its say if it's gonna be a red one. Even this one was a perfect fake out for a reversal. So let's see what this is gonna do. This move upwards, I believe, reset some of the RSIs on the shorter time frames. The 15-minute is reset with a big bearish divergence here at these peaks. I don't see any particular pump energy, to be honest. It just seems like choppy sideways on the way down. And I wanted to show you something in Bitcoin again, in terms of the previous swing and how choppy it was. So this one had, so to my mind, there is still one leg. So this one was the peak formation. It was a triple top here. Came down. This is the first level, I believe, and this is the first retrace. And now this would be the most conservative level, 22.2, which is why my take profit is a 22.3, because this would be the most conservative level to stop. But I believe there will be another oh, what do you call it, leg down, level down. This one here had a similar situation. Here it looked like a perfect reversal again on the 200. Like, look how long it reversed, in case you're wondering why is this dragging on. And it came up to I'm just going to extend this line so that you see it came up to the peak formation retest. So this one was even choppier because it had, this was actually the peak formation, and this one was like a 1-2 on the way down. And I found it harder to read the swing because of this choppiness. But the point I'm trying to make is, let me bring out the brush. My morning boy is still waking up. Here, this retest is this retest, and it looks, what happened here is what's happening here. All of this looked like a perfect reversal, and then look what happened on the way down. I'm not sure we're gonna get the same force on the way down because we are in different parts of the pattern. But yeah, Roy will show you some longer term analysis of the weekly and bi-weekly and 3-weekly MAs, and they're not looking great overall. So it seems like something bigger is brewing if we're looking at them. So I'm still in my shorts. I don't particularly. I believe that the move will happen today, sometime today. I don't particularly want to give it another go down. So if it's gonna come down, or yeah, if it doesn't meet my target today, I am looking to close. But at the moment, I can't tell you. It's just because it's been taking too long, and I would like to have my capital free to be able to follow a move if it does decide to reverse. So I am still in my short. I believe we're going to have another leg down today. That's where I believe we are. Now, let's see what Ethereum is doing. Neil, how are you? How are you with seeing your profits slightly fade?
I came out, I didn't like the double test of the 05.
Okay.
So I came out at 60% profit.
Excellent.
Now I'm looking at, I'm looking at the psychological low retest, which is a 1 hour W. If we reverse from there. The psychological ranges get set for the week where the market may accumulate in that zone.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for a rejection from that for a continuation down.
Yes.
Probably end with half the position from.
That might be it. Yeah, that's actually a very good move because you've secured profits, and it's the same. I'm gonna say the same for Ethereum as I've said for Bitcoin, because it does look like this would be a W formation. Let me change to the 4 hour because it has a little bit more support. So this is retesting. Let me. Can you mute yourself because there's a little bit of an echo now. Just for super. That's a nicely executed trade there. So I believe Ethereum has had its peak formation, and again, because it's doing the levels, it's easier to check. Then it's made its drop, then it did its retest of the peak formation level, and I believe now it's coming for a lower. And again, I am very conservative in putting the next level on the 4 hour. I can see it actually a little bit clearer, the 1470. I think we have a similar target on our weekly 1440. Okay, yeah, so 1470 would be a little bit higher, so it would bring this box a little bit higher. But again, if we are to measure this, I'm just looking for confluence and put it here. I think somewhere around 40, 50, 55 would be because I don't want you to give too much profit. But it looks like the 1470, 4080 would be a good level here to come back to. What I'm looking at for both Bitcoin and Ethereum is the reset of the 4-hour. I don't believe we're going to go for another leg up if the 4-hour RSI doesn't reset to the bottom, and it hasn't. Like, it looked like it was doing it, but it didn't. It didn't. And Ethereum went up higher. I think Ethereum is showing us something slightly different, because Bitcoin's looks more like a double bottom here, more like a clearer W, but Ethereum's more like a V-shaped recovery as it looks at the moment. It's not too much of a consolidation here. Bitcoin went a little bit deeper. If I change to the 1 hour, let me see what the psychological would be up here. I'm not sure it's gonna get there, Neil, because it would have to go. It already tested it yesterday, and I believe the M3 level might hold it down, because if it gets above the M3 level, I think yesterday the M3 level was at the psychological level, but now it's changed. So I think the M3 level will either serve as a lift up level, as a support, or it will push it down. The 15-minute seems exhausted, and I think it's gonna need a breather soon. But we don't have any confirmation in the vectors at the moment. So we'll see if it gets to the psychological. If it doesn't get to the psychological high, I think crossing down the 1 hour 20 EMA would be a nice confirmation that it is going to come down for another leg. So that would be the signal that I would be taking if I weren't if I were looking for a short. Now again, we are looking at Ethereum. Ethereum seems to be holding the 1 hour level a little bit better than Bitcoin. It broke it here, it held it here, it got rejected the 55. Now it's trying to do another lift up above the 55, as it did here. So you can see this is very typical of Ethereum to seem to be holding it, and then so I would give it time. I don't think the 1 hour in this situation, given this back test, would be too reliable. I would take the 4 hour 20 as a confirmation for a lift up. So we've just started the 4 hour. If this 4 hour holds, and the next one holds as well, at least for a couple of hours, then I would say we are going to do another leg up. And of course, the confirmation would be, if we're looking at this wonky, it is a very wonky W. It's a very, very wonky bottom formation here. It has to get above this, which is again it's around the peak formation support level. So this would be it. This would be it. Now they can also, like, this can also be the start of an M formation down, because this is how we generally make a leg down. We do a couple of tests, and if we look on a smaller arc, this is the 1 hour, but on a 5-minute arc, this would be the mountain, this would be the double top, this would be the mountain peak, this would be the third drop, this would be the final peak, final bounce, final retrace. So a little bit more sideways in terms of the 5-minute action, and then coming back down. So both possibilities still stand in terms of, is this a reversal or not? It looks at the moment like it isn't a reversal, because it hasn't gone past the confirmation point. When it gets past the confirmation point, how it holds that confirmation point, so if it continues, and that should be checked on the 15-minute, because we will need faster signals at that moment. On the 15-minute, we check and we see if it holds this peak of the W. I have to find a word for that so that I say it faster. The peak of the W, then we're gonna go up for another leg up. and again, that next leg up will be a good one for Ethereum. So keep yourselves open to that possibility, and if that happens, I think it's better to close a short position and follow price action if it wants to go up. So that's me. In summary, I believe we are doing the normal moves for a consolidation on the way down. I believe there will be another leg down. We will know if the leg down is invalidated if price action crosses up into the peak formation. If for both Ethereum and Bitcoin, if it goes up into the peak formation level, then we know this move down has been finished, the correction has been finished, and we are going up for another leg up. So that's it. It's a simple story to follow. I'll be going now onto the Discord and posting these charts. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, and I'll chat to you on Discord if there is more volatility today.
Okay, so let's have a look at XRP, and the first thing I'm going to do is flick into Bitcoin. And the reason why I'm flicking into Bitcoin is I want to just point out something up, because I think Bitcoin is leading the charge here with price action, and I'm going to just relate it to Bitcoin for a moment, and then flick over to XRP and see how it relates, because XRP is not as deep into the correction as Bitcoin is. So here we go. Okay, so just with Bitcoin on. Here we go. I'll flick to here. TC. Oh, I want to actually go to Bitstamp. So I'm going to do Bitstamp because it gives me greater history. Yeah. Okay, so on Bitcoin, everybody on the weekly is watching the 200 MA on the weekly about the break, whether it's going to break down or break up. Yeah. So we'll put a price label there. Okay, so that's the 200 there. Yeah. So now we'll remember that, because I'm going to flick through some timelines now. I'm going to go to the daily, and 2283. There we go. So there's the 200 on the weekly. Now on the daily, is you can see that price. Here's the 55 EMA here, and you can see the 20. So we were looking to see if it would break back below the 55. It has. It back tested, it came down, didn't touch the 20 EMA, didn't touch it here, but there's been a pushback. So the question is, this pushback is, one, will it get as far as the 55? If it doesn't get as far as the 55 and starts coming back down, then there's a good chance that there's going to be a decent push through the 20 MA, which is the pink one, and the white one is the 20 EMA. So if it doesn't go back and touch the 55, there's a decent chance it's going to have a good go at this, yeah? If it does come back to the 55, the question is it going to hold? So look, we'll put a price target there, and we'll make that one blue. So we know that that's the 55 on the daily, 200 on the weekly, 55 on the daily, yeah? And you can see the push and pull of the day at the moment. So now I'm going to flick down to the 1 hour, okay? And the reason why I'm coming down to the 1 hour, again, now here's these targets here. Let's bring it over here so we can see. So there's the 55 on the daily. Right there. There we go. 2283, 2283. there's the 200 on the week. There we go. Okay, so now you can see the correction in motion is here we are on the 1 hour testing the 200. Now this is the 400 MA as well, but this is the 200. So you can see the tests, and again the 200 here on the hour is like nearly the 200 on the weekly. Got a test, got a rejection, back down again, got a rejection. Now you can see this white line here is the 20 EMA on the 1 hour, and then this is the 55. So one of the things we gotta be mindful of here is if the 20 EMA crosses over the 55, it's at the bottom of a correction, that's signaling a big pump, and that's anything that would be because of the crossing is down low in price action. That would be a 15% pump or so, minimum 15% pump. If it breaks, if it properly goes, yeah. Equally, seeing the 50 on the hour break is also a signal for reversal. However, there are times when here's the 1 hour, it comes up like this, it turns around, it kisses it, and then it can absolutely do that. So that's what we're waiting for. Yeah. So you can see the 200 on the hour is pushing up. Is the 50 here is starting to bend a little bit. The question is, will the 50 cross over the 200? Will the reversal of the EMAs happen here and you get the spill, or is it going to be a pump up? So let's go down a little bit lower into the EMAs. So there's the hourly. If we go into the 15 EMA, and I know it's broken, so you can see, look, it broke there. But now look at this. Here's the bottom of this impulse. It's moving up. So it crossed over halfway through. So I'm going to go into the 5 minute, because the 5 minute crossed here. Okay, so you can see the 1, 2, and then 5 minute crossed over. So the 5 minute looks pretty close to topping out. Now the question is on the 15 minute, as the 15 minute moves, is the 15 minute looks like there still has a push in it. Now this, you can see the start of the pump. So this is if the 15 minute cross down here, you get a much stronger pump. The 15 minute crosses sort of halfway through the pump, it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't mean it's going to have the same power. So you can really see that the 15 minute here would top out maybe around. Again, you can see this is the 400 MA, this is the 600 MA on the 15 minute, but equally here's the 55. So it's looking like it's going to do a back test to the 55, and that the 5 and 15 minute impulse it could top out here, and then you get a reversal. So let's go back to the hour. So let's go back to the hour, yeah. So now on the hour, is you can see that you're getting movement here. Again, you've got the 144, the 100, and the pi 111 cycle, yeah. And then here's the 55. So what am I trying to say? It looks like there will be a topping out here and a reversal. So it looks like it's going to have another go at least one more go of the 200. That's what it looks like. And it's not going to take more than a candle or two. So you can see the 20 here. Another hour or two is going to bring it up to around here. It will probably take 3 or 4 hours of continuous lift for this 20 to break to 55. So it looks like if you see a reversal in the next hour or two, it's coming down to have another go at it again. And again, that's the question: is will it break? Will the 50 break to 200 and the EMAs reverse? If it does, I think as Mihaela said, it'll be coming down to the next leg. And I suppose very simply, the next leg on the 1 hour will be down to about the 22 mark, 22.05. It looks like that'll be a mark, yeah. Now that means then it gets below the 200 on the weekly, and again, if it gets below that, you can expect a back test and we'll see if it wants to go for continuation. So it looks like the next couple of hours is again, this could drag out. So I can see another test in the next couple of hours. I don't know whether it's going to break it or not, but it's definitely coming. You could, in hindsight, recognize this as the 1-2 on the way up. It definitely has an impression of that. But I don't think the EMAs are going to cross this time before the 5 and 15 run out of steam. A bit like this, run out of steam and have another go again. And then we'll see from there. I'm not in a trade at the moment. I've been getting a lot of rest the last couple of days because I'm just waiting for this to decide what direction it wants to go in. And then once that decides, then I'll hop in. Yeah. So that's Bitcoin. Let's go have a look at XRP. Yeah. XRP Bitstamp. Now I'm using Bitstamp because it's a longer history, so it gives more the MAs. An example of that is that when I go down to the weekly here, you can see on the weekly here's the 400 MA on the weekly. On Bybit, it won't give you that because the history hasn't been long enough to give it. So the same story here on XRP as it is on Bitcoin with regards to 400 MA. Yeah. And again, you can see there's a reversal going on at the moment. Is that when we zoom in? Actually, before we zoom in, if this was to drop down, you're looking at the Bollinger there maybe as a double bottom at 30. Yeah. If it pops up, is the next leg up. Look, there's the 200 MA at 49 center. So might be a little short of that. Yeah. The next level after that will be up here at around 60 or so. We'll see what happens on the weekly. Yeah? But now when I zoom in, actually just quickly, I'm going to go to the 3 week and the 2 week because they turned the other day. Yeah, is this the 5 on the 3 week is potentially now support. It is the Bollinger down there is at 17, so if there was a spill, it'd be pretty deep. You know? Is the 2 week? The 2 week again, you can see it's sitting on the 200 here. The 5 is sitting underneath on the 200. That looks like a great support with the 5 and the 200 there at 34.9, basically 35, solid support. That would be that 05, that 05, maybe a little lower correction for XRP, but it hasn't happened yet. It hasn't got like Bitcoin's got lower, XRP hasn't really got that far. Yeah. On the pressure from the up, you can see on the 2 week, the 10 is after breaking the 100 and the 111. Yeah. So that's a big crossing. Yeah. And price action is down at, or the wick is down at 45. So you definitely it could be a push up to around there, but we'll be meeting a fair bit of resistance around here. Yeah. And then I will actually do the monthly because the monthly turned. Is you can see the monthly here is look at the 100 MA holding this. Yeah. Holding it very well. However, look at the 5 on the monthly. Again, it's wicking through the 50, and it's coming down where the wick is now at 41.74. So that's a fair bit of pressure as well. Now I'm going to go to. I know there's one other thing. Was it the 2 monthly? Or was it the 6 weekly? I think it was the 6 weekly. It was one of these. Maybe the 5 weekly. There we go. On the 5 weekly, again you can see the 100, and you can see how price action wicked 10 weeks ago. It wicked to the 100 came down again. You can see the 5 again cutting through the 50s here. is if it was to come up, it'd be meeting them at again around the mid-40s. If it was to apply a pressure down, again coming back down and touching the 100 here, again is around the 30 mark. So you can see that that both are still playing out, yeah. But now if we zoom in, if we zoom into the 6 day, again you can see there's the 400 MA and a strong rejection of the 6 day at the moment, and very close to peaking at the Bollinger. Now the next 6 day is going to turn on the 5th, so that's in 2 days' time. So that's a pretty strong rejection at the moment. You can see the 5 and 10 crossing over, and there's the medial line here. So again, if there was more of a correction coming down to the medial line, again at 35.3, yeah, 35.3, the 10 would be 34.3 as well. Somewhere around the 35, it definitely looks like it'd be quite a challenge to get through that. And the 5 is in a similar situation, and again strong rejection of the 20 and the Bollinger, yeah. So now as we get closer, the question is what does the turn begin to look like? On the 4 day, again you can see the rejection here, rejection, correction candle, VWAP is down, 5 is coming up strong, 20 is turned down, the 10 is sideways. So now as a formation is it's easy to see that the 5 could turn down here, and then you can have a spill motion. So there is that. Is the 4 day is going to turn again on the 5th in 2 more days, yeah. So this here is could be setting itself up for a deeper pull down. But again, if it comes down and bounces off this within the next 2 days and decides to get a lift, all this can flick around very fast. But this does seem to be setting itself up for a little bit of a spill, unless it gets to bounce fast and comes up. If it keeps systematically coming down and pushing and pushing and pushing, it can continue to bend, yeah. But then the 3 days should be giving us. Now the reason why I'm going through the monthlies, the weeklies, and the dailies is because they're at play a lot here. It's not really what the 1 hour and the 4 hour does. It's the play of the dailies predominantly at the moment, yeah. The 1 hours will be you'll see they're very volatile, you know, at the moment. So now you can see again strong rejection. The VWAP is down. There's the Bollinger. I think that's the 600. It's the 800 MA, yeah. So now you can see on the 3 day is nearly level. The 3 day on Bitcoin is bent down. The 3 day is on Bitcoin is already turned down, yeah. So again, you can see that the 3 day is under quite a bit of pressure. It hasn't given up at all in any way, shape, or form. If anything, there's the medial line again like around the 34.5, 35. So still, I suppose one of the points I'm trying to make here is that it does look like it's potentially correcting more, but it's taken its time. Bitcoin is further down. Bitcoin has tested its 05, where XRP isn't really getting to its test mark of 35 or so. Not at the moment anyway. And again on the 2 day, again rejection off the 50 here's the correction. Seems like today is an up day. This looks very pumpy. Even though VWAP is down, this 5 and 10 look like it wants to push. But the 20 you can see is starting to go a little sideways. So the 20 is not eager to go in the same direction. So I think it'll be very telling. It'll be very telling. 5th. Again, that just turned today. So this could be torturous. And what I mean by that is that if this doesn't break out, it could push it back up here. You know, it might even push it back up to the 50 or the Bollinger. you know, and then snap down and pull back down again. So this could drag on for, we could have an answer in a few hours or today, or this could just keep dragging on. You know, just wearing people out a little bit, you know. So now the daily is, here's the daily. Now the daily is interesting here because you can see that there's been a far greater correction in the candles on the daily. Yeah, the 5, when the 5 goes like this, is again, look, the 10 hasn't even really turned. On Bitcoin, the 5 and 10 on the daily and the 2 daily is properly turned, where in XRP it hasn't. So when you see the 5 go like this, to me it suggests that price action is going to go at least back up to the 5 here, and that the 5 is still resistance, and it's putting itself in a position to be resistance. So I think it looks like there's at least it's gonna head back up to 37.8. And again, it'll be on XRP, the 55 here is price action is back above the 55, and you know, so that's XRP. XRP on the higher time frames is struggling to turn. Where when you look at Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin is leading the charge here. Whatever Bitcoin's going to do, is the others are going to follow. So Bitcoin is much more advanced in its correction than the others. So with regards to the MAs, yeah. Okay, so let's just flick into the hourlies now. So on the 12 hour, again, you can see a nice turn on the 5, nice turn on the 10. What we would need to see for continuation down is a nice turn on this 10 MA, that it gets a proper turn down would be good, yeah. I'm not sure whether it's going to happen this time or not. It's going to happen in 2.5 more hours. So I'll be curious to see what happens there, yeah. Let me just flick to the 8 hour. Again, is for the correction that it's done, is that the 5 is turned, the 10 is turned. Really need to see this 20 break, as in turn down. It's all taking a very long time. I'll go to the 4 hour. So now, if I was looking for reversals here, is one of the things I'll be looking for as a reversal is the 10 MA getting broken on the 4 hour. So a reversal here like this would be if the 10 gets clearly broken. So that's something that I'll be watching as well. Now again, you can get a candle through it. You know, you can get it. You can come all the way up here, and there can be a bit of a battle, and then possibly rejection. But if this gets properly broken with price action, if you see the 5 starting to cross the 10 here, again, I think that's a clear sign of reversal. So the battle is definitely on, yeah. And again, down on the 1 hour, here we are, the same thing, like Bitcoin. There's the 200 MA getting tested. Here's the impulse. Here's the. I'll flick to the. Where's my EMAs here? Is this my EMAs? And I'll flick to here like this. Okay. Is that right? Oh no, these are the MAs. My apologies. Where are my EMAs? Ah, here we go. So back to the same story as I was describing in Bitcoin. There's the 5 after crossing over. Okay. Here's the 15-minute crossing over, and you can see the 15-minute on XRP is literally just crossed over here. So you can see that pump, but the impulse started from down here. So it's halfway. The impulse that's going to complete here, it's halfway or close to halfway already turned. Yeah. Now here is the hour. So now what I'll be looking at is whether the 20 crosses the 55. And again, I'm going to do it's the same thing as I said for Bitcoin. Is the 20 can come up like this, you know, and then turn around and again now it turns into a strong push down. rather than a breakthrough. So it's the same story going on here. I would suggest just looking at this with my eye is for the 20 to cross over the 50 here. On XRP, it looks like it's at least 3 to 5 hours away. If it was to continue like this, it could be 3 to 5 hours before this crosses over. Bitcoin looks closer. But now the point I'm making is that the impulse here starts on the 5 and is supported by the 15. But the question is can it follow through that it gets supported by the hour? And as it stands, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. So it's a bit like Bitcoin is. We may get an impulse up here and then another go. Now Bitcoin has already had 2 goes at the 200 on the hour, where XRP has only had 1. So it definitely looks like it's going to have another go at it. Yeah, it definitely looks like that. And that's really where it is. I zoomed out because I think it's it's not a 1 hour move or a 4 hour move at the moment. I definitely think the pace that this is going at, it's nearly turned into a 12 hour or a daily move. So it's what's happening on the dailies for the most part. MAs are giving the better indication. Bitcoin is further down the road in its turning. XRP isn't. But it is coming to that crossroads where it'll either have to break soon or else it's going to head on up. We're getting super close to it. Yeah, I do believe is if it does break down, for all the effort it's taken to get it down, if it breaks down, is I don't see it breaking down and just doing something small. I definitely think is the momentum it will have created to break the 35, or on Bitcoin to break the 22,500 is, I think it's more reasonable to think that it'll be coming down for double bottom, heading closer to 30 on XRP. So you can see at the moment, you can see these two, you can see the symmetrical triangle. You can see the outer line here touches the wicks, and then the inner line touches more wicks and gets into some of the bodies. Yeah. So at the moment it's broken through the outer line. It's wicked to the inner line. It's back testing the outer line at the moment. And again, let's see what it wants to do here. Yeah. And the figures I was showing you the other day are still the same. Is getting down to the 30, 36, 35 here. The challenge is the 34 is the 50 on the day. So when we put the fibs on it, when we put the fibs on this impulse, is you can see it's wicked. You can see it's wicked. Now I said it didn't wick to the 05, but actually has. My apologies. It did wick to the 05. I suppose what I'm trying to say with regards to Bitcoin and XRP, the MAs on Bitcoin have turned, the daily MAs have turned a lot more, where XRP, they haven't really turned that much. It's not looking as convincing of a turn on the MAs. But you can see here now there's a wick, there is a wick through to the 05. That might be it, and then up it goes. So we've got to see what that happens then at 1 hour with the EMAs. It may come up and hit this outer line or bounce back to the 382. If it does that and starts to come down again, I think that's a pretty good sign for a deeper push down, because this is the space that it reverses in. So if it reaches a peak here and starts to come back down, it's coming back down for a reason, and it's coming back down, I think, for a stronger test. Because sometimes what you get is you get the wick through and then you get the push through. You can see it here. You get the wick through first. If anything, there's a few wick throughs here, and then you get the push through. So you can see the battle here. Here's the wick through. So the question is, are we going to start to get the push through here? Yeah. And then the 786 correction would be down at 34. if I wanted to go further, is looking at the 1618 as a deeper spill, but take it below the bottom here. So I'm not going to go below the bottom for the moment. Just we'll look within this range, which would be the 1414 at about 29.50, the 1272 at 30.50. So if we see it start to break the 786 and come down and break below this, is then we're starting to look at the bottom of the impulse here. Then we're starting to look at these targets here. Yeah. So that's one level. Is if we look at it on the way up, we're looking for a reversal pattern here. If we go to the hourly, because we did see a potential 1-2 on Bitcoin. At the moment, again, this was the previous low. It came up, it broke it. So there's not the 1-2 here. Is if you're looking at this as an impulse, you want to be doing like a 1-2, and this coming back up here breaks that 1-2. Let me see if I can see an ABC here. Suppose, don't know, ABC. No, I'm not really seeing it. Yeah, I think this reversal here and the push down will reveal a bit more. Yeah. So let's see what happens with breaking the 05, and then you can see this level at 36, and then after that we're looking at the 618 at 35.53. So I'm looking for my next in this zone, whatever this zone either becomes support or resistance is, then I'll be going in on my next trade. But until then, I'm just watching. So that's it. I know I've been waffling on there, but I wanted to zoom out to basically just show the dailies. The daily MAs are really applying themselves at the moment. Yeah, the macro pressure is on at the moment. Yeah, so let's see what happens. Okay, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.